tell us how you fell in love with the bridal industry and kind of how has your brand evolved since then?
So I kind of just randomly ended up here. I took over the business 5 years ago, but I fell in love with the idea that I get to design clothes that are really special for someone, and then doing it in a sustainable way even kind of takes it a bit further. And how the brand has evolved since I took over is we've gone towards more sustainable way. The dresses have always been handmade here in the studio, but now I choose sustainable fabrics as well. And
oh, that's great. That's really inspiring, especially because we know lots of brides are opting for, you know, sustainable designs. So no, that I think it's really great what you're doing.
Exactly, and it's a dress that you only wear once.
Absolutely.
So it's a bit of a shame to kind of make it from fabric that's ultimately just plastic.
Talk me through your journey of kind of putting a collection together. What's your creative process like?
So it starts from sourcing the materials. As a small business, I can't just choose any fabrics because the minimums from some companies, they are hundreds of meters. I can't order in hundreds of meters of fabric, so I need to source materials that are somehow sustainable and have low minimum order quantities.
Yeah, it must be difficult.
It is challenging. It is challenging. It's like, oh, I love that fabric, but I can't have that. But yeah, it brings a new challenge into the whole design process.
And it's so worth it.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely worth it. It feels like a win every time I find like an amazing natural material.
It's like, yes.
That's like 10 meters minimum. Yes. So my design process starts from finding the fabrics, and then I create a concept, kind of like a loose concept, and start sketching a little bit, making some trials from fabrics, and it's a long process, and the process is kind of alive until I have the pieces done. So I don't have anything. I don't have anything kind of decided 100% before I start designing and making the dresses.
Yeah, it kind of must change as you go along as well.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I find this doesn't work, so I have to do it this way. Or
And I mean that's part of the process, I guess. And then once you see the whole collection together, it's just like wow, like
it's
what I put together.
That's the best thing ever.
Amazing. So, what do you consider to be kind of the signature design elements of the brand?
It has to be lace, or lace trims at least.
Yeah.
I make plain dresses as well, but there's always a lace trim on the neckline or somewhere else.
Yeah.
And sleeves, I just find dresses with sleeves are much more interesting.
So talk me through your sustainability practices. I think it's really inspiring kind of what you do as like a small bridal brand. What does your label provide for the eco-conscious brides?
So I guess the main aspects of like sustainability, the dresses are handmade here in London, downstairs actually. And then the materials, they have some kind of sustainable aspect in them, whether it's a lace that's made in the UK, or it's organic bamboo, or it's tencel. So either the material or then the way it's made, it's sustainable. Those are the biggest aspects of sustainability.
I think it's fantastic because I think we all do need to play our part, and it's great what you're doing as a bridal designer, and hopefully it's kind of changing the industry for the better.
I hope so too, and I think
towards that.
and I think brides definitely are starting to be more conscious about
the
materials.
It. Yeah, that's kind of why they come to you, because they love what you do. So it's great. What would you say is the biggest secret to the success of your brand?
I think it has to be the fact that our dresses are kind of, how would I put it, like understated, not too weddingy.
Yeah, not
like my brides often say.
Not too traditional.
Exactly.
Nice.
They are. They have that extra something. Plus, they are super comfortable, and it's really important that the bride feels comfortable on
I
the
think
wedding day.
that's one of the most important things,
Yeah.
is it? Because she's going to be wearing it for the whole day,
Exactly.
so you have to
Eating,
make sure
dancing,
that,
doing all these things.
Exactly, yeah. And it's almost, I think with some of the designs you can even repurpose them for after the wedding
Absolutely.
as well, which is
Yes.
great. It would be such a shame to sort of only wear it for one day.
Yeah.
So
This is a thing that I do with some of my brides. They come back and I either shorten their dress, I can split it up into
That's
a top and a
amazing.
skirt.
yeah.
They can even dye most of the dresses, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm aiming in the future. That they could dye all the dresses.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic.
the materials
Yeah.
need to be right.
What was it that inspired the current collection?
So it was. This sounds a bit silly.
Go on.
It was me and my partner Paolo. We were watching this series called Yellowstone, which is about like ranching in America and cowboys and things like that. And then we figured out there's other kind of spin-off series called 1883 and 1923. And we watched those. Those are based in like 1883 and 1923. I just fell in love with that kind of Wild West world. Like, yes, there's a tragic stories there, but then there's all that kind of potentiality and promise, and it's just it felt magical, and I love the outfits. The outfits are beautiful. So yeah, I kind of took that, and
I think you can really see that kind of shine through in the collection, like your own personal connection to it.
Yeah,
and kind
because
of your own inspiration.
what else would I use as an inspiration than something that I'm really into at the moment? So it kind of felt really natural.
So what design trends do you think have emerged from the collection?
Definitely. Well, I've kept the sleeves, so there's lots of different type of sleeves in, and I really went into like detailed lace trim details, and flounces as well. There's quite a few dresses with different flounces and gatherings and frills and things like that.
And if you had to choose, I know it's really difficult, but if you could choose one piece that you think really highlights the vision of the collection, which would it be and why?
I think it would be the Montana dress.
I love that one.
It has a cool sleeve and a higher, like a collar here. It just depicts the kind of like the inspiration the best.
So what is one thing you would like retailers in particular to know about you and how the label works?
I think it has to be the attention to detail. I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
That's a good thing.
And I'd rather spend a bit more time, too much time in something.
Absolutely.
Than just, try to make it.
Yeah.
The quality of the dresses.
Final question. Why is White Gallery so important to you? Because obviously it's coming up, it's really exciting. And what are you most looking forward to about the show?
Well, White Gallery is really important to me because it's the space where we all kind of like-minded bridal brands and boutique owners, we kind of get together and meet up. And I really enjoy just meeting up people and kind of networking and meeting new people.
It's great because you can get inspiration from other brands, and likewise for them, they can take inspiration from you. Yeah, and it's also great to kind of see like different retailers as well and kind of get their input. So I think it's just such a fantastic like networking opportunity.
Absolutely.
More than anything.
And it's so lovely to see other small bridal brands there. Not just the big ones who have 10 people working on their stall, but us girl bosses who are just there.
Absolutely, you're definitely one of them.